Here we are at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the running of the Sharpie 500 as we inch closer to the beginning of the chase for the Gatorade Cup Series number 5 championship. So this half-mile oval, the Coliseum, Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway, the next race on the Gatorade Cup Series schedule. They now take a look at our starting lineup. On the pole of the 30, TJ Hanley, who's outside his last season's champion, Michael Gregory in the 29. Then 30, you have Kevin Van, 4th is Alex Stewart, and 5th is Tim Gary. Then 6th, you have Michael Cantos, 7th is Riley Fraley Jr., 8th, Evan Hunter, 9th, Joshua running up the top 10, others being Jason Smith Jr. The rest will go Justin East, and then you got Ivy Hernandez, Isaac Nichols, and Cynthia Bright, 2 teammates on the next row. Then Luke Rennie won this race earlier this season at Bristol, and then Keegan Thompson. Francis Eston, then Eli Bright, Alexander Rowe and Tim Randolph, Brady Wormnest and Trey Rainey, then Levi Shones and William Seaman, Andrew Miller and Jonathan Buford, Marcus Tachi and Max Anderson, Wyatt Walker and Derek Bouchard, Carter Friesen and Adam Lewis, Julius Harrison second in points, 115 back is Jeff Wright, then Case Neal and John West, Joe Jefferson, Jade Jefferson, Patrick Smith and DJ Reed, and Brandon Tharp and Cole Luigi on the final row, 42nd and 41st. Your points leader Luigi started 41st, but he's on the inside, so that'll be a benefit for him. So TJ Hanley, Michael Gregory on the front row for this start of the race. Now go down trackside to hear the command. Forward 2 cars are off as the pace cars in 75 laps around this half-mile oval Bristol Motor Speedway. We are green flag racing in the Sharpie 500. Down the backstretch they come. TJ Hanley has cleared the pack. He's going to lead lap number 1 as they come off of turn number 4. Hanley in the 30 leads lap 1, but he has Kevin Ban behind him in the number 18 car. Ban looking to get another victory this season. That would get him his 3rd win of the season and possibly lock himself up a wildcard spot if he was able to do that. Battle for 4th, Michael Gregory started outside of row number 1. He's fallen back to 4th. Now he's going to keep that 4th position as Spurley cannot get underneath him. Michael Gregory sells into the 4th position, but he goes up high. Riley Spurley has a chance to get to the bottom lane if his car is fast enough. And Bristol, a track where starting position means a lot. If you're on the inside in the top 10, you have a shot to win here at Bristol, especially if you're the pole sitter or 3rd place. Those two are probably the most starting positions. Those two are the starting positions where the most winners have probably come from here at Bristol. So we've just completed 4 laps, about to complete 5. Hanley's still out front. Let's take a quick update on where your points leader Cole Luigi is. He's still on the inside lane. There are some spots that are going to be available to him in front of him. Marcus Tachi, Jonathan Buford, William Seaman, Trey Rainey all stuck up top, following his teammate Jay Jefferson leading the inside line through. So Cole Luigi following his teammate through. But now Patrick Smith looks to the inside of the number 1 car. Jefferson does get down in line. No, he couldn't. Patrick Smith pushed him high. And it's a big fight back here in this pack. Cole Luigi just going to want to finish this race in a nice solid position. He wants to keep that points lead, just even though it doesn't really do anything for points-wise. It'd just be some bragging rights going into the chase. You'd have a lot of momentum if you're able to keep that points lead. Another thing you're worried about, right? You're at the back of the pack. Worried about the leader coming up and catching you. Cole Luigi right now coming off turn 4. Hanley's just coming off turn number 2 right now. So it's about half a lap to he and the 42. However, with those guys in a pack, it's going to slow him down just a little bit, and Hanley will start catching. So Hanley right now entering turn 1. The field is entering turn 3. So it's a lot of time, or not a lot of time between that 30 and the back half of the field. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how Hanley can negotiate lap traffic. It actually almost cost your winner yesterday, Jonathan Buford, the victory. The 30 Cole Luigi was on the back of the number 97 car. Buford was able to navigate lap traffic just fine. He got to victory lane. So Hanley has a pretty good distance over Kevin Ban, but he has to hold that is the problem through lap traffic. And lap traffic is going to be very, very racy. Jonathan Buford right now in 42nd. See all these guys right here getting shoved to the top and whatnot. Jeff Bright second in points says he started on the outside row. He's gotten down to the bottom lane in the 35th position right now, not where he wants. Cole Luigi, your points leader, sailed into the 27th position. This is a race he dominated last season. Led most of the laps, if I'm not mistaken, but was crashed out from, I believe, a top 5 spot. So, you know, he wants some redemption here at Bristol, and I think starting 41st and getting a top 25, a top 20 would not be a bad way to do it, especially with that points lead. Just don't want to get caught up in a wreck. So Hanley just out here in cruise control right now. I also have to apologize if you hear some sniffles or if I'm coughing or if my voice gets a little icky. It's because I think I have a cold, probably have a cold. If I don't have a cold, I'm definitely getting a cold. And so if you hear me kind of take a break from commentating, that would be why. If you hear some moments where the on-track sounds are louder, it's because the mic is muted. So that is why if stuff like that happens. Again, I try to do a good job of limiting the coughs. I've done it before. I've commentated and worse. But just another little sickness. So Hanley leading 15 laps. So we've just completed 15 as we now have 60 laps to go. Hanley dominating right now, but still a ton of time left. You can see Joe Jefferson down the 42nd position. That 42nd position will change a ton because of people getting stuck to the high side. And Hanley's running some pretty good laps too, running faster than Kevin Bannon. Look at this battle for fourth. Gregory up the track. Here comes Riley Spraguetip to the bottom lane. Spraguetip and that number 47 team have been on a roll as of late and trying to get up into that chase. So they won at Sonoma. They have to get up into the top 20 in points, and they also have to get up high enough to where they can use that victory as a wild card, but that probably is not going to happen because Joe Jefferson and Kevin Bannon are both outside of the top 10 points along with TJ Hanley. Hanley has it locked up no matter what. Bannon and Joe Jefferson have 2 wins, so Spraguetip either needs to get another victory or get into the top 10 points. Or hope that Hanley gets into the top 10 and Joe Jefferson or Kevin Bannon fall below 20th in points, but that is a lot to ask for. See Hanley now in lap traffic. He's gotten by Case Meal. Tim Randolph next up. Randolph moves to the outside lane. That's a smart decision right there by the 93 team. They're not going to really gain anything by holding up the leader, so just move out of the way, and tonight's not your night if you're back there running in the 41st, make it 42nd position. And now Kevin Bannon has a choice. That's his teammate from him, so you'd think Case Meal would probably move over here going into turn 3, move to the high side. Be very interesting to see if that happens, although Smeo probably wants to just stay close enough to Hanley to where if someone gets knocked to the high side, like Joe Jefferson, Jay Jefferson up here, Smeo can try and pounce to the inside. Joe Jefferson is the closest lap car in 40th, and then 39th on up have kind of pulled away just a little bit. Look ahead to your points leaders. Jeff Bryce up to the 31st position. Your points leader, Code Luigi, sails into the 26th position, but there's a whole group of cars in front of him. The guy who won the Food Save 500 earlier this season, looking to sweep Bristol. Luke Rainey right now in the 24th position. Patrick Smith up the track in front of him could make it 23rd right there. So some bad races for some drivers we thought would do well here, but that's just how Bristol's starting position trumps everything else. Hanley has pulled away from second place Kevin Bannon because Bannon is stuck behind his teammate Case Meal, who is the lap car. Now Hanley about to catch Joe Jefferson, number 39 car. Hanley's been running 10th faster than that 39 car each lap. If it's not a 10th, it's been pretty darn close. 50 laps to go here at Bristol. 25 miles left. They will probably have to make a pit stop. It would probably be a little bit later into the run, maybe around 40, 45 laps in. If they don't, I'll be shocked because I never even changed the fuel use, so it'll be something interesting to see. They should have to pit. And now Hanley being stuck behind Joe Jefferson, allowing Casey Mito and some others to kind of close in just a little bit. And if these guys keep getting caught up, Tim Gary and Riley Spraguetip could possibly close in. And then Michael Gregory in 5th place is kind of holding up the pack behind him. Joshua looks to have just a little bit faster of a car, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get around at all. Hanley with the peak to the inside, showing Jefferson that he is faster than that. Jefferson might want to move out of the way. You can see Casey Mito back there moving out of the way for her teammate. So here we go. Now there is a clean racetrack in front of Kevin Bannon. And there are no cars between the first and second place cars, but there are a lot of cars in front of your race leader, TJ Hanley. See Tim Gary going to get underneath Case Meal right here, possibly. Case Meal does shut the door, so Tim Gary not going to be able to get by one of your lap cars. And Joe Jefferson still holding up Hanley. Yeah, you're only as fast as the person in front of you is what a lot of drivers like to say. Hanley's car has not been running 14.9s this whole run. He's been running down the 14.7s, low 14.8s, and right now he's running up towards the 15-second bracket. And Kevin Bannon, meanwhile, is running 14.70s. So if Bannon gets there, he could possibly pass him. But TJ Hanley needs to get by the 39 car as fast as he can. Oh, he might do it right here. He got a good run. No, not quite there. They did have to let off because Derek Bouchard in front getting tight. Hanley trying to get underneath that 39 car. Joe Jefferson, he wants to get out of here because Bannon is closing, and that was a 15-second lap for Hanley. Bannon also ran a 15-second lap, so maybe the dirty air is affecting the 18 just a little bit more than we think. But Hanley not going to be too happy about this. He's just hoping that these pit cycles can come fast. In fact, if I'm Hanley's team, why not just bring him down now, right? He's already losing time on track. Get fresher tires sooner, get out of this lap traffic, and maybe you can, as long as the caution doesn't come out, but that's another thing. Caution's coming out during green flag pit cycles. That has happened a ton here at Bristol. Field comes down the back straightaway. Let's take a nice flyby of the field and see how fast a lap here is around Bristol. So here comes Hanley. He's going to get past right there. There he goes past the camera. And now here comes the rest of the field. See some big-time drivers back here. Luigi, Jeff Bright first and second in points. And here comes Hanley already back. So how fast a lap is here around Bristol, that just showed it. Only takes about 14 and a half seconds to get around. If you're fast, 15 seconds on the slower end. So, and now Bandit can't really do anything about this, and Tim Randolph and Case Samito are now closing in 2 lap cars. So if Randolph makes a move to the inside of Bandit, that'll definitely hurt him. Tim Gary's kind of backed up the battle, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Josh Beal in 6th. They got Javier Hernandez just beneath Alex Stewart, and Cynthia Bright running out the top 10. Good to see the 24 car in the top 10. She's had some great runs as of late, just has not had the luck to show for that. Hanley's pull away from Band just a little bit onto the back bumper of the 39 car once again. Still can't do anything with Joe Jefferson. He wants to very badly, you can tell. Look at Randolph with the run. If he gets underneath Kevin Band, that's really going to hurt that 18 car. Bandon looking for his 3rd win of the season. It would be the most of, or it would be tied for the most of anyone. Code Luigi, your points there right now has 3 wins. Bandon looking for his 3rd here at Bristol right now, running in the 2nd position. TJ Henley looking for his 1st win of the season. He did win a non-points race, the All-Star race earlier in the season, which got him into the chase, and I'm sure he'll say that that one win is probably a win that he would rather have probably that win than 5 wins and 15 DNFs in a season. Joe Jefferson up high into the wall. Hanley gets by. Kevin Band also gets by, though, is the problem for Hanley. So not only did Joe Jefferson hold Hanley up, he also let Bandon go as soon as Bandon got underneath him. So Hanley just lost time in that exchange. He didn't really gain anything from that. If he had gotten by Joe Jefferson, Jefferson got down line and held up Bandon, then it would be a different story. Here, cars into the wall. I don't know if that's going to be a caution or not. Possibly just a car hitting the wall. I don't see anyone spun around to see any smoke, but a car definitely hit the wall. We heard it. Jeff Bryce got up to the top 30. He's right now in 30th position. After starting on the outside, not too shabby there. Code Luigi's still right now in the 26th position. Hasn't really been able to close in on the 48, the 2, or anyone else at all. So right now just riding around in there. Hanley has now caught the next 2 lap cars, Derek Bouchard and Jay Jefferson. Bouchard in the number 34, Jefferson in the number 1 car. Come to 30 laps to go here at Bristol. Maybe they won't. Maybe the pit stop's just a little bit later than I expected, or maybe they won't have to pay. Who knows? I believe they should have to pay. They paid in the Food Save 500, I think, so they should definitely have to pay it in this race. Very hard to get around lap traffic here at Bristol. Inside lane is the place you want to be, and lap cars aren't going to want to give that up because they will lose a position or 2 if they make the move to the outside. So that's why, while it would be nice to see lap cars go to the high side, they just don't want to do it. They'll give up so much time if they do, and some points. Hey, that valuable points. Is what we like to say. Even if you're at the back of the pack, it's still some valuable points. So Hanley's had Kevin Band all over his bumper for the past, what would I say, 25 laps. Band has not been able to make a move. In fact, he washed up the track once again, allows Hanley to get some breathing room right there. And Hanley pulls away just a little bit right there. And Bandon, that car looks like it's a little bit tighter than it has been all race. So 15.2 right there. And Hanley was behind that traffic and ran 0.2 faster. So I believe Band's car just a little bit tighter than what he would want. Of course, he is on worn tires, so that could possibly be why. 25 laps to go here at Bristol. So 2/3 down, 1/3 to go. Hanley, your pole sitter, has led 50 of 50. That's going to make it 51 of 51 as he comes around to the stripe this time. And trying to dominate the Sharpie 500 at Bristol and get his 2nd career Gatorade Cup Series win, 3rd if you count a non-points race, the All-Star race this season. And looking to, more importantly, just get a points win this season. Heading into the chase, he has been on the downward slide ever since his All-Star win, kind of. He got his All-Star win, they kind of almost they started trying something maybe because they knew they were in the chase or something. They've been on a downward slide. They haven't been qualifying well. They've been caught up in wrecks. So Hanley, even if he doesn't win, this has got to be a boost of confidence for he and his team going forward these final 2 races before the chase. Of course, Darlington, and then of course Richmond, another short track. So coming to 20 to go, 21 to go next time by. Front 2 right now have this race locked up in the front 2 positions. TJ Hanley and Kevin Bannon should finish first and second as long as nothing really happens on pit road or on track or mechanical failures. God forbid something happens like that to one of the front 2, as they have run great all race long. So coming to 20 laps to go right here. Hanley still out front in purple TH Designs Toyota. Points update. Jeff Bright second in points is right now in the 30th position, but look at that. Code Luigi in the 42 kick to the high side and is going to lose that spot to Jeff Bright. Bright is now going to gain points on Luigi. Not only that, but with these two being back here in, 29th, 30th, 31st, that will allow other people to close in. So, race for the points lead not out quite yet, as Jeff Bright just moves to the 29th position. Code Luigi will fall out to the top 30 after getting stuck on the high side. Look back up to the front. Derek Bouchard has kind of slowed down these guys, and Jake Jefferson has pulled away. Hanley looking for a way around that number 34 car. Oh, Hanley up that track that time. Bannon lower. Didn't really get good enough for a run, though, that I thought he was going to get there on the bottom lane. I thought he was going to get a lot closer to Hanley than he actually did. So coming to 16 laps to go. 16 left here at Bristol. That's 8 miles only. And these 16 laps are going to go by very, very fast, unless, of course, there are pit stops. Or unless there's a yellow. You can never count out late race yellow with these guys racing how they are. Has your points leader gone down in line somewhere? Yes, he has. In front of DJ Reed in the 31st position. So Code Luigi from 26th to 31st. Now Jason Smino Jr. caught to the high side. Cars are coming down pit road. Here comes Hanley first. And Kevin Bannon staying out on track. I'm sure Bannon's going to be hoping for a caution right now. Put these guys a lap down. So here we go. Pit stops with, I believe, about 15, 14, 13 laps to go. When does Kevin Bannon want to come down pit road is the question. Does his team want to leave him out there in hopes of a caution coming out? We've seen that many times before. Bannon moves to the inside. He's possibly trying to get down pit road on the front stretch. Where is his pit stall is the question. Is it front stretch, back stretch, wherever? Where is Hanley as the question? More cars come down pit road. Bannon a late entry into the pit. Yep. Hanley leaving. Tim Ranoff comes out right behind him. So that means Hanley had a pretty decent pit stop because he was right ahead of the 93 anyway. Now let's hope he can get on track without any altercation. Jay Jefferson lets him go. Smart move there. Almost hit the pit barrels. That was very, very close. And now where is Kevin Bannon at? Where does he come out? Is he just getting into his pit stall? Oh yeah, well, he's a lap ahead. So your race leader right now is the 14 car of Levi Schoen, staying out, hoping for a caution. He's on pit road now. I don't believe anyone else has stayed out. The question is, where will Bannon come out in relation to Hanley? And does Hanley have this win basically locked up? He crosses the stripe. There goes Bannon leaving. Hanley gets out ahead. Bannon loses a ton of time on pit road. The fresher tire sooner helped out for the 30 team of TJ Hanley. And Hanley now just has to coast home. He doesn't really have any lap cars ahead of him. Look at all these guys leaving pit road, about to go lap down. Jeff Bright second in points, about to go lap down. They're wrecking. Caution out. Points leader involved. Code Luigi with damage to the number 42 car. And how this changes a lot. We talked about it. We said how they wrecked coming off pit road. It just happened involving your points leader. And now your race leader. Hopefully. Oh, who's the race leader actually? Hanley's right now scoring second. And someone may... Brandon Tharp. Is he on pit road is the question. Yes, he's on pit road with damage, so it possibly involved him. Hanley now has kept the race lead, so Hanley should be your race leader, I believe. Unless Brandon Tharp... No, Tharp I think is going to come back down pit road, or he has to stay on pit road or something. Oh, God, they're stacking up. And Hanley did the smart thing there and said, hey, I'm going to get to the bottom lane. So that this doesn't really happen. Let's hope. We're just going to stay with you guys until we can, until we sort this all out. So Hanley with the race lead. Had it locked up, that race win, and now he has to deal with a late race restart with some lap cars behind him. If he gets kicked to that outside, that'll be bad. So first, let's see what happened. Your points leader, Code Luigi, involved in this late race crash. So here's the reason for the caution. Brandon Tharp takes over the race lead because he stayed out longer. So here he comes. He's going to come down pit road. Some others are coming out. The opposite of what happened with Jefferson and Hanley. Jefferson let Hanley go out. Tharp is trying to come in. Patrick Smith's not going to let him in, of course. Tharp's not going to let Smith out. Spins Tharp. That wouldn't have been a caution, but here comes Michael Canto into the back end, and Cole Luigi nowhere really to go, not of his doing. And Michael Canto, a ton of damage there. Tharp, Jason Smeo Jr., Adam Lewis, Jeff Wright. So many guys up there in points. Jay Jefferson has to stop, and he luckily gets by without any damage. If he did get damage, it wasn't much. Look at this in real time. We're going to go on board with Cole Luigi and Jeff Bright, see what exactly they saw. Cole Luigi couldn't really do anything. It was Michael Canto could have gone high, but he just didn't there and caused a really, really big crash. Go on board Jeff Bright, the number 5 car, second in points coming to this day. Comes off pit road and sees this in front of him. If I'm Jeff Bright, I would be on the gas too, because I just saw the points leader out there in front of me on the track. Cole Luigi with a great pit stop, but ends up like this. Now, there is some damage. However, how bad is the damage? Because it's Bristol. If he could just coast it around a few more laps, maybe he can keep his position. So Hanley led the field back to the yellow. Are we going back green this time is the question. Look at all these guys on the tail end of the lead lap. We're going back green this time. There are, I believe, 5 cars that realistically have a shot to win this race. Levi Shones and Brandon Tharp played it beautifully. Hanley has some lap crossing between he and Kevin Band. Come to 4 to go. Green flag is out. These guys restarting in the middle of the corner. This is going to be a sketchy situation for these race leaders. Hanley kicked to the high side. Oh, almost wrecking in front of him. Come to 3 laps to go. It's a race now between Hanley and I believe Kevin Bandon. Bandon to the inside. Can he get by Hanley off of turn number 2? Hanley powering off the top. I believe this is Bandon's race to lose right now. Come to 2 laps to go. Kevin Bandon takes the race lead. Looking for his 3rd win of the season. Kevin Bandon trying to lead the most important one, the last 2. Coming to the white flag. Carter Friesen puts Hanley up top and possibly gives the win to Bandon with 1 lap to go here at Bristol. Hanley now just trying to keep second. The car that dominated tonight, TJ Hanley's not going to be able to get to victory lane. Off of turn number 4 they come. Kevin Bandon steals one here at Bristol as he wins the Sharpie 500. And a wacky race that came down to a late race caution. Kevin Bandon steals one on a night where it looked like Hanley had it locked up. Yes, now let's go check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Sharpie 500 at Bristol. There was 1 caution flag for 5 laps and 5 lead changes among 4 different drivers. Kevin Bandon leads 5 laps to get to victory lane. He led the last 2. That was really the only ones they led. I don't know how to say it. That he led kind of. Just he led it outright. He didn't lead it because of pit cycles. Hanley second, starts on pole, lead 67 of 75 laps. The only laps he didn't lead were the last 2 and the ones that he pitted. So you have to feel for that 30 team, especially since it wasn't someone that got by him. It was a lap car that caused it. If Carter Friesen stayed behind Hanley, Hanley would have just gone on to victory lane. Even that caution didn't come out, he was going to go to victory lane easily. Levi Shones plays the strategy right. He's going to end up 3rd here tonight. He wasn't even, I don't think he was anywhere near the top 10. Tim Gary in 4th, and then Brandon Tharp also plays it smart. Remember, he was in that wreck. He starts 42nd, he ends up 5th. Great day for him. 6th, Josh Mio, Cynthia Bright 7th, Andrew Miller 8th, Avi Hernandez 9th, and Francis Dustin rounding out the top 10. So there's your top 20. See a lot of bigger names down here. Alexander Rowe up there in the points. I believe he moves to 2nd in points after this race. He ends up in the 11th position. Michael Gregory starts on the outside of the front row, ends up 14th. Not the day he won, so look down 21st to 40th. 20 cars finish on the lead lap. Luke Rainey won the Food Safe 500 earlier in the season, ends up 25th. Cole Luigi, your points leader, ends up 26th. After falling back to 31st, getting involved in that crash, I'm sure he'll take a 26th place finish, especially since it's close to competitor in points. Jeff Bright's up 2 laps down, 36th. So you see Michael Canto, Jason Smeo Jr. up because of that crash. 40 cars end up finishing the race running. Yes, now let's go look at the point standings. 2 races left before the chase, and here are the point standings. Code Luigi keeps that points lead, 133 points over Alexander Rowe in second. Francis Dustin up to third. Jeff Bright falls to fourth, and Brandon Tharp in fifth. Then you got Tim Gary in sixth. TJ Henley moves up to seventh. Kevin Band to eighth with that victory, his third win of the season. Ninth, Max Harrison, and 10th, Patrick Smith. So there's your top 20. How about this? No drivers in the top, or from 11th to 20th now, have 2 or more wins that can be used as a wild card. So now it's going off of guys with 1 win. John West and Justin Heath would be in because they have the wild cards. They only have 1 win. If Patrick Smith falls out, he would get it. Kevin Band falls out, he would definitely get it. Tim Garrick falls out, he would get it. TJ Hanley, he's in the top 10 right now, but he would have a wild card if he falls out. Other drivers up here. Jonathan Beaufort's only 26 back of Justin Heath. Riley Spurley to Evan Hunter. Keegan Thompson also up here in the top 20 with 1 win. But then you got to look down here to see Joe Jefferson. He falls to 23rd in points. After having some dismal races, 23rd in points, he has 2 wins. If he gets into the top 20, he is guaranteed a wild card. So you know how badly he needs to get up there in these next 2 races to get into the chase. It's going to be very, very wild to see who makes the chase in these next 2 races. So the next race will be the Southern 500 at Darlington. See you guys then.